The island of Borneo, located in between Malaysia and Indonesia, is home to the Kinabatangan River, one of the most biodiverse regions on the planet, and last remaining homes of the Borneo Pygmy elephants. Stretching from the Crocker Range to the Sulu Sea, it is renowned for being the best place to view wildlife in their natural habitat in Southeast Asia.
Kinabatangan River is very important because it's one of the rich area in Sabah, rich in biodiversity. So basically it's a large area surrounded by pristine rainforests, and we can find a lot of our animals over there. For example, the Borneo Pygmy Elephant, the orangutan, and also the proboscis monkey.
Since the early 1950s, forest land around the Kinabatangan has been converted for various economic activities. Logging, followed by rubber trees, and finally oil palm, as far as the eye can see. Oil palm is a highly efficient crop and vitally important to the Sabah economy, especially for small landholders. But this, coupled with continuous human expansion and growing consumerism, has created fragmented forests, separating populations of migrating elephants, orangutans, and proboscis monkeys, destroying food supplies and creating human-elephant conflict.
I think the most challenging problems encountered by this endangered animal at the moment is the large opening of palm oil, I suppose, which are causing the habitat of this animal to be reduced.
For Sabah, we had this study by the government on the land use. The biggest chunk of it is in forest reserves, which is about nearly 45%, but totally protected about now is about 25%. The rest, 30%, goes to agriculture. When we talk about development, agricultural development, there is a situation where we are disrupting the traditional migration routes of these elephants and other animals. If there is a marginal lands under the palm oil plantation, we would like to get those land and do a reforestation, for example. We do not want to enlarge the acreage of palm oil plantation, but improving on the harvest.
Borneo Wildlife Preservation is working with Borneo Conservation Trust to purchase and replant these fragmented areas, creating an income for the local community and creating safe migration routes for the elephants.
What we are trying to achieve with BWP is providing relief to injured, displaced, and orphaned pygmy elephants. The projects that we're working on right now is providing food and medical supplies to Sepalak, where there's 5 displaced elephants being cared for. And we also are providing medical supplies, food, and shelter for elephants at the Borneo Elephant Sanctuary. We also have land purchase projects in line to reconnect the fragmented parts of the rainforest. We have one piece of land that we're working to purchase to actually have a self-sustainable farm so that locals can actually grow their own trees for the saplings to be grown and sold to other tree planting projects in the area.
The Borneo Pygmy elephants are the smallest elephant species in the world, and with less than 1,500 left in the wild, they are losing their habitat at an alarming rate. Already populations are completely cut off from each other, reducing the possibility of genetic diversity, and the loss of vital food supplies increases human-elephant conflict, with elephants regularly raiding and damaging crops.
Borneo pygmy elephants are very small. They rarely goes up beyond 10 feet of height. They're very round, stout, have very big feet. And if one is very familiar with the Asian elephants, they will say Asian elephants have longer trunk, shorter tail, but the pygmy elephants have shorter trunk, longer tail. Pygmy elephants usually face a fragmentation of forests, which means forests at one side and then you have the degraded forest, and then you have forest on one side. They have to go through that areas. They also venture into small oil palm plantation owners, smallholders, and this is where the threat comes in. When they go into the plantations area, they like all these small oil palm shoots. They like to eat that because of the stem inside. So they will just take out the oil palm and then just eat them. For farmers, for plantation owners, they don't like this because this will cause them a lot of economic losses.
The current future for the pygmy elephant is difficult, and the challenges they and other species face complex. Illegal poaching, habitat loss, and conflict all contribute to the loss of species, and pygmy elephants are at the highest risk.
When there's a conflict between the oil palm owners and the elephants, they would usually, try to chase them out. They will do anything to chase the elephants out, and then the elephants will go to another farm.
This is the corridor for the elephant. So if they want to crossing here, they do it like they burn the tire or something, so make it the signal the elephant don't proceed. Sometimes they give the firework. Sometimes they use the heli sound, loudspeaker like that, using a siren.
Each elephant consumes on average 150 kilograms of plant material and fruit every day, which is why herds must be able to follow centuries-old migration routes. With oil palm plantations expanding daily, it's likely the only way they can survive is within sanctuaries.
There is always this situation where elephant is displaced, or the big mammals displaced. So one of the most affected one is the Borneo elephants. So we set aside an area where a center, we call it a Borneo Elephant Sanctuary.
The Borneo Elephant Sanctuary, that is the gateway to Lower Kinabatangan Sanctuary. So we will try to put them there, rehabilitate them to get used to the wild area. There are wild elephants roaming around that area. So when the time is right, when everything is okay, we'll try to see whether they can cope with the resident, whether the resident elephants will want them. But elephants are usually calm animals. They have this very strong relationship with each other. If they know, okay, this is an elephant from this side, okay, we'll just accept him.
We should be releasing them, but very often they come back. And they couldn't find their own food, they come back to the center to look for food. Also, you must remember that they are detached from the herd. And the issue of being them detached from the herd make them very lonely, and of course they sometimes look for the herd. So they always go back to Borneo Elephant Sanctuary, where there are elephants all the time.
I basically chose the Borneo Elephant Sanctuary based on information with my partner, Borneo Conservation Trust. So we have a food fund going for these elephants that have been brought in from plantations and animals that have basically been displaced from their herds or injured and can't keep up. We feel that it's important to assist Borneo Elephant Sanctuary to help expand and provide more space for these injured and displaced animals.
The Sabah government has committed to protect 30% of pristine rainforest by 2020. Key to this commitment and the Kinabatangan River is the Corridor of Life project. This project aims to protect vital areas of land and is essential to the survival of the endangered pygmy elephants, proboscis monkeys, and the orangutans.
The least protected area is the Lower Kinabatangan Basin, which is the Lower Kinabatangan Sanctuary now. In that area, we have a scenario where it's meandering and it's either wide or very thin, and they're passing through rivers or the banks of the rivers. And in a lot of situations, these mammals, the big mammals, normally go during the flood season. Normally they go into the dry area, dry land. Now, the biggest challenge is when it is flooding. Most of these slow-moving animals or the migrating wildlife will be stuck in some places. So we decided to do a study to identify all those bottlenecks, the areas that is supposed to be a good place for them to shed during the flood, and find food during the flood season or the rainy season. These are the areas that we have identified, and we have called them Corridor of Life. We are talking about 10,000 to 15,000 hectares for the unprotected Corridor of Life. But the most critical one is about 4,000 hectares. We are looking for NGOs that we think could work to procure the the urgent areas.
This corridor of life is essential to the continued survival of the elephants, proboscis monkeys, orangutans, and over 300 other bird, mammal, and reptile species. While providing one of the last remaining places where visitors can see these animals in the wild.
These animals are our natural heritage. They deserve to be safe, they deserve to be conserved. Once this animal become extinct, we will not be able to see such animal again. These animals are already on the endangered list. So we have to do something. We have to make everybody realize that the animals are very important as part of our natural heritage.
Ecotourism is one of the fastest growing industries in Sabah. Employing and supporting predominantly local people, these tours enable visitors to see elephants and other species up close in their natural habitat.
So we feel that tours are important because it brings people together in Borneo and gives them an appreciation for conservation efforts. It also empowers them to get involved with hands-on experience, and we feel that if you're seeing it firsthand and working amongst the locals and experiencing what they experience in the rainforest with these animals being injured and going extinct and the destruction of the rainforest, when all they're really trying to do is protect it, we feel that people from abroad can also help assist in that.
I believe eco-travels or eco-tours in some way indirectly will be able to contribute the survival of the endangered species, in the sense that once we have a lot of visitors, and including visitors from overseas, that will come and visit areas like this, they are contributing either directly to the local people who work with the resort or the homestay or the facility that we have in such area. This all indirectly helps their life and also in the economy of the state. So in somehow all this will help the state in the conservation of the endangered species too.
By supporting local eco-tours such as those run by BWP and BCT, visitors can contribute directly to the ongoing protection and survival of the pygmy elephants and help to rebuild the rainforests, creating a great family adventure and also helping to raise awareness and education of the issues facing the pygmy elephants, orangutans, and the proboscis monkey.
Talking about the future of pygmy elephants, I'm a very optimistic person. I know they have a very bright future because we, as the custodian, we have we know the main problem. We are trying to tackle all issues. We have also drafted a future long-term for them. So for me, being optimistic, there is always a future for the pygmy elephants as long as we take action now.
If we are able to inculcate the love for nature and everybody knows about the biodiversity, the animals, the endangered species, then they will do something about it.
Conservation it's not just a single effort, it's a worldwide effort.
Following over a century of unrestricted consumption, the solution is not going to happen overnight. But through concerted effort, collaboration, mindful travel and raising awareness, the future can be bright for the elephants and our rainforests.